Hey guys, welcome to this video. I'm Sabrina. So for today's video, I'm sitting on the floor in my bedroom, a little bit more of a chill setup, and do a little get ready with me. I've been on more of a journey with my skin, and I've been finding by just looking at the ingredients I'm putting on my skin has been really helping. I just started simply looking at the ingredient list of products I'm buying. Even if it's stamped by Sephora as clean, doesn't mean it's clean to me. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys a full face of clean makeup today, just to get this really nice, fresh, and natural spring makeup look. One of my favorite makeup looks to do. So I don't really have like a non-toxic clean primer yet, but I have a little sample. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I've been trying this out. It's so different and unique to what I've ever used before, but it's actually really good. There's no dimethicone or pore clogging ingredients in this one, and it's a little bit like tacky. Smells a bit funny, probably the CBD in this. I've never really used something that really grips my makeup before, and it's crazy how it kind of boosts your product to have even more coverage. It is a little bit tacky, but the tackiness goes away once you like pop products on top of it. I recently picked up the Kosas concealer and I'm obsessed with it. I did order online and I would say it runs a little bit darker than you think. Technically with my shade now, I would have gone a little bit lighter, so I really have to bring bronzer down my neck with this. But I think this will be a perfect shade for me in the summer. A couple more layers of some face down and I think this would be perfect. This is the Kosas Revealer Concealer and I have it in the shade 4. Typical doe foot applicator, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pinpoint conceal. I got lots of different scars right now. If you guys have any tips for healing scars, your favorite products, maybe like vitamin C's, let me know. I'd love to try them out. I feel like I've gotten down the exfoliating part of my skin, but the hard part is trying to get rid of those nasty scars, and I don't want to do any like laser treatments. And then just put it under my eyes. Just go down here where I'm the darkest, and then right here to lift and brighten a bit more. So I'm just gonna go in with a Real Technique sponge and just press in my under eyes. I'm really enjoying it. It wears really nicely over the day. Blend that in. It's not gonna be like overly brightening on my face, but usually with products I just like to conceal. Okay, so I'm just gonna press in. What's with me never getting my shade right of products? It's hard online, I tell you. Every brand is so different. The sponges give me an arm workout just bouncing this in my... That's how unfit I am right now. I need to get back on my fitness game. Maybe I'll do it today. We'll see. Easier said than done. What I like to do then at the end is just go back with my concealer on places where I just really want extra coverage today. This is the process in my makeup that takes the longest, but I think it looks quite natural once I'm done because I spent lots of time working it into my skin. 2 hours later, literally. Oh, and by the way, I have a little bit of the Summer Fridays lip butter. So I'm gonna just put a little bit more on because who doesn't love more moisture on the lips? Oh, that is a lot. This packaging just keeps on cutting out. It kind of explodes. You can see the beautiful gloss this lip balm gives. It's so pretty and very, very moisturizing to the lips because my lips have been so dry lately. In all honesty, I don't find this concealer really needs to be set down too much. I think my skin has just been very dry lately too. I do find powder does help with like the longevity of makeup. This is the Kosas Cloud Set Powder in Breezy. So I just take a little bit and just dust that underneath. It doesn't feel like heavy or thick under the eyes. I honestly can't use any other powder ever since I started using this. It's so smoothing to the skin, sets everything in place and blurs the skin without looking like powder and without like taking away the natural finish of your skin. I've been really loving the Illia bronzer, especially when I'm at my fairest. This is a really nice bronzer. It goes on very softly. This is the Illia NightLite bronzing powder in Drawn In, which is the lighter of the two, and it goes on so easily. I just love bronzer. It just instantly gives life to your face, gives that healthy like sun-kissed glow that we all want. We're not building up too much because I have a very fluffy brush, so it diffuses the product a little bit more. A little bit more on the outer edge of my face just to sculpt my face a little bit more. I've been really loving taking this bronzer on my nose too to kind of like contour it, and then because it goes on so softly I just apply it with a stippling brush. It really just diffuses and honestly does all the work for me. I don't have to spend too much time blending out. So I like to just bring it down the sides of my nose. I think it just brings a little bit more color to the face and helps the nose not to get lost amongst all the concealer, and then I think it just defines it a bit more. Okay, so often I'll stop there for bronzer and just do something really simple, but I'm going to show you the extra step that I've been doing just to give my face a little bit more warmth, especially because my concealer is a little too dark. I like to bring this bronzer down my neck. So this is the Cover FX Monochromatic Bronzing Duo, and this is in the shade Sunkissed Bronze. They're both more of like a red tone bronzer. So with this bronzer, I like to go into the pan very lightly and then dust a little bit on like my arm or something like that, or else I find like the product just places there and it's a little too intense. So it is pigmented, that's for sure. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of the bronzer and just tap a little bit just on the outer portion of my face. So when I look forward, you can't really see it, but it just gives a little bit more definition. Just very little, just kind of tapping that in, and then we'll just put whatever's left on the brush there. I'm gonna dust a little bit of the shimmer. This one's not overly pigmented, just to give a little bit more of a glow to the skin. This blush is so good. I recently did a top 5 cream blushes, and this is one of them. This is probably one of my favorites because it's also just so long lasting on the cheeks. Because it's so intensely pigmented, I find it just really lasts and grabs onto the skin. This is the Tower 28 Beach Please Luminous Tinted Balm, and I have it in the shade Golden Hour. I think this color just screams warm weather and summer. My favorite way to apply this, I take my duo fiber onto the cream product, and then I have quite a bit of pigment there, so I don't want to just place on my cheek, so I just diffuse it a little bit on my hand. With most of my products I always do that, and then I'm just gonna bounce it on the apple of my cheek. Often when I do this, I feel like you can see my blemishes through a little bit more, but you know, I kind of don't mind it. I think it kind of adds to that sun-kissed look almost. I feel like I've gotten really used to having a little bit more pigmentation on my skin that I'm not too worried about seeing it anymore. I very much like to just look like my natural self and not look like I'm caking on so much makeup, because no matter what you do, it's going to be obvious that you're wearing a lot of foundation and concealer to cover your acne. And I think that ends up looking a little bit worse. I just like looking like my real self. Blush a little bit more blown out higher. I just think it really looks nice. And then take a little bit of blush on my bridge of my nose. Not the tip of my nose, but just the bridge. And then a little bit on my lids. Whatever's left on my hand, I just kind of collect it right on the center top of my forehead. And sometimes I'll just go ahead and pounce my sponge on my cheeks just to make sure it's diffused. So this is the RMS Beauty Magic Luminizer. It's this beautiful champagne cream highlight. So I just put it on my finger like that to see where the light naturally hits, and then I just pat that on right there. And I put it under my brow bone as well. And then I just switch my finger with no product and just melt it in. Just that pressing motion. And then I like a little bit of highlight on my nose personally, and then on the bridge of my nose. I think nose highlight is just really pretty. And Cupid's though. When this came out, I was so excited for this brow pencil. This is the Kosas Brow Pop Dual Action Defining Pencil, and I got this in the shade Dark Brown. The packaging on this is so cool. First of all, it's like kind of squared, so it doesn't roll, which I really, really love. I've always wanted to do that. If I ever came out with my own product line, I would do the square, definitely. Of course, Kosas beat me to it. Really cool, clear packaging makes doing your brows a little bit more fun, because I feel like brows can be a little bit repetitive. Using the spoolie on the back, I'm just gonna brush my hairs in the upward direction, get them all nice and groomed. My least favorite thing about the pencil is the shape of the product. I wish it was just more of those micro tips. That's my personal favorite. It's like a very small triangle. Kosas is known for like infusing their makeup with skincare products. Supposedly this one has castor oil in it, I believe, to help nourish and like grow brow hairs. I don't know how effective it would be in this, but I think that's kind of a cool initiative. So I just start with the top part of my brow and just really blend that in and diffuse it. So it's not too creamy in a way that it glides on too much and then doesn't stay, but it's not like as dry as some other formulas I've tried. I've been wearing it the last few days and it's been wearing really nicely over the day. I'm using the tip of the triangle to kind of imitate brow strokes here. We'll see how that works. Sometimes I can be a little extra with my brows and use 3 or 4 products, but I find when I do that, my products actually last me so much longer because I have it for a specific part of my brow. It sounds so extra, but I'm into makeup, so I can justify that. I like this tip of using the tip of the triangle on the brow pencil. It works really well. It's a little bit thicker, but it kind of gives me more of those natural brow hair strokes. I can't do my brows without going in with a brow gel, so I have the Merit Volumizing Pomade in brown. One thing I love about this thing is the actual handle is longer than the container, so it's so easy to hold and use. You get really nice control and precision, so I very rarely have like a mishap with my brow with this. I'm just gonna pop this through. It's just gonna tint my brow hairs a little bit more, give more volume, and then just brush and separate my hairs a little bit more. And I just personally like to brush my brow hairs up a little bit. I just want to finish off the look with the eyes and lips. We're keeping it very simple. So I'm going to go back into the Cover FX bronzer. Because it's so pigmented, it's really good on the eyes. And we're going to go into the matte shade for a little bit stronger color with more of a fluffy brush, and just place that on the lid just to bring a little bit more color. And I love the red kind of undertone in this, and you can see how pigmented this is. It works amazing for an eyeshadow. I love having multi-purpose products. I think like blush, highlight, bronzer look amazing on the eyes. When you're pulling same colors that are on your face, it just automatically is gonna look way more natural. I just take my finger and diffuse it a bit more too. Because I don't have an eye primer on, I'm gonna go ahead back into my Kosas powder and just take a little bit on a clean fluffy brush. I only use this brush for this purpose, and just hit it through the crease. It will kind of diffuse the color even more. The main reason I do this is I find the powder helps my mascara not to transfer. Going in with a small pencil brush, same bronzer, I'm going to take a little bit on my lower lash line. Bronze and warm up and define the whole eye. And sometimes I'll do this with my Illia bronzer too if I want a softer color, but I like this because it just gives something a little bit more, especially when I'm doing like pictures too. I find that just pops the eye a bit more. So I'm just taking the shimmer side of that bronzer and just placing a little bit on the lid. Why not? Just for the subtle like shine. In all honesty, I don't have a clean like eyeliner yet. Most of the time I just use matte Costa Riche. It's so good. But I didn't want to cheat on this video, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my brow pencil just for a little bit of liner, because I just have to wear a little bit of liner on my eye even if I'm not putting bronzer on my eye. I think it's nice just to give a little bit of definition. It's a little hard to draw on, which is expected. That's the smartest packaging. I can get a little wing effect because I take the tip and just drag it. Why has no one thought about this yet? I do prefer more of a warmer liner mostly, but just gives a little bit of a shadow and definition. So I'm going to curl my lashes now. Get in there. Really lift my lashes up. So now I'm going to go in with the Merit mascara. This is the Merit Beauty Lengthening Mascara in Perfect Black. This is the most natural, soft looking mascara. It doesn't coat the lashes too much. It just gives a little bit more like color and like length, I would say. But the best thing about this mascara is it's so smudge proof. Like I've literally, like last week I went on a 6-hour hike in like the snow, and I was perfectly fine. Like my mascara didn't smudge. I couldn't find a clean waterproof mascara other than the Milk Makeup Kush, which I have tried the non-waterproof. It's horrible. It's so smudgy. It just gives you raccoon eyes automatically, and I find it does nothing for the lashes, so don't get that one. So you can see it just gives me very natural lashes, but just opens up the eyes. Let's do the lower lash. One thing I like about this one, a lot of like clean mascaras either smudge really bad or they have the plastic bristle. I need the fibrous bristle. It's my favorite. So I don't have a lip liner today, but I'm just gonna go in with a lip gloss, keep it very simple and natural. I finally picked up the Tower 28 glosses in the Sephora VIP sale. This is the Tower 28 ShineOn Lip Jelly in the shade Coconut. There's something about this color that just gravitated me towards it. It's so like fresh and pretty and soft looking. It's quickly become my favorite spring gloss. It's called a jelly, but it has such like a creamy, milky texture and just gives a very faint color, like really soft pink, and it's not sticky whatsoever. Same doe foot applicator as the concealer. Alright, so this is the finished, very natural, full face of clean makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. If you'd like, you can also subscribe down below to support my channel. If you feel like leaving me a comment down below your favorite clean or non-toxic beauty product, whether it's makeup or skincare. I would love to know. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my video next week. Bye! Still get butterflies every time we speak. Am I in my head 'cause it feels like I'm dreaming?